Guys, I just want to make a quick video for you of something else we're working on besides that old pop-up camper. This is a 79 Chevy custom deluxe, or it used to be, until we started butchering it. Originally I bought this truck as a donor truck, but we first purchased it, we thought it had 456 gears on it, but it ended up with 411s. So instead of just selling it for parts or doing away, we went ahead and just started building it. It's a 79 Chevy. It's got the 350 in it, 400 turbo tranny, 203 case. It was a full-time four-wheel drive, but we went and got lockouts for it. The worn lockouts, the heavier ones, because we locked it front and back. And so it's got the 12 bolt in the front. It's got the GM Corporate 14 in the rear, and we took the rear. I don't know if you can tell from the video, but anybody's familiar with the 14s, you know how low they set in the middle with that big lip. So we shaved all that off to get some more clearance out of it. It's got 6-inch springs in the front, little extra clearance. Had a buddy of mine hooked me up with a nice set of electric fans. He had an old RV that he was getting rid of. He went ahead and gave me the fans for it, just do a set of aftermarket lights on it just to have some on. We never really go full wheeling at night, but I just put them on there because you just never know. The motor we haven't done too much to. We put an aftermarket intake on it, a little oversized cam, just enough to wake it up a little bit, and some lifters and timing gears and a chain, oil pump. And the back, I ordered these from DIY4by.com, and these were well worth the money. It's all heavy plate. These ones, it's the front of the rear tire for the spring. It's got multiple positions where you can run about any size, any length leaf spring you want. The springs that are in it right now are out of the front of a full-size Chevy Blazer to help give it a little bit more flex. And on the back part, we bought their 4-inch shackle flip. So it came with all the brackets, came with the heavy hangers, all the grade 8 bolts. It's really nice, bolted right on, no issues. We took and bobbed the frame. I mean, if anybody's familiar with these old square bodies, you know, there's a lot of frame air missing. There's probably 2 foot of frame that's gone. Put a fuel cell on it, 20 or 22 gallon fuel cell with the foam in it. Threw a couple batteries on the back, one for the truck, one for the winch. I have a 12,000 pound winch. I haven't mounted it yet. We ran 3-inch exhaust on it coming up the back of the cab, but it's just way too loud, so I'm probably going to reroute it just underneath the bed that we made for it. Maybe throw a couple flow masters or glass packs or something on it to tone it down some. The door, we are in the process of making some tube doors, and that, if anybody has any ideas, I could definitely use some tips on. So we got one on the driver's side. I ran out of tubing, and it's just kind of scabbed together, but I mean, it functions like it should. It could definitely use some work. The tires, it's got a set of 38-inch swampers on it right now. On the back, the fronts are 35s because the other two 38s had slow leaks in them. But it clears them really, really nice. I mean, you can see from up here to the tire with these 35s on it. The 38s, there isn't much difference. It clears them really well. I still got to get it to work, and once we get it mobile, we'll take it to work and hit it with the forklift so I can measure for shocks. We put all new lines on it, all new calipers on it, pads, the back same way. It's it's shoes right now, but we put all new shoes on it, pads. Eventually I'm going to do a solid or a caliper swap on the back for disc brakes. The front, it's got I'm not much for half tons, but it's got Dana 44 front end in it, but we put the guy I got it from, he already had the passenger side upper and lower ball joint replaced on it, so I went ahead and done the driver's side, and all the steering linkage, everything on it's new. The stabilizer shock's all been replaced, but eventually it'll I have to get hydraulic steering on it since it is locked in the front, because it makes it a bear to turn. But what am I forgetting? Over the winter where it was setting, if you can see this big giant oily mess. It went to fire it up because it set for a few months and it was like 0 degrees outside, and fired it up and the oil just went everywhere. First I thought the block was cracked, but I'm pretty sure it blew the ring on the oil filter, the gasket. But so that's, you know, no problem. Strip it all apart, double check everything, and I mean, it made a mess. But I could definitely use some tips if anybody's got any. We made a pretty sweet hood ornament for it though. Little brass duck. But we're pretty hard on these old trucks. If you still see any of our old videos, that Nissan we used to have, that poor thing, it took a beat down. And the fenders, like I was saying, we took the fender wells out, took the fenders off, cut the hood to bring it in some, because where we usually go full on that, it's like super tight. The little Nissan hard body we had, it's definitely seen its share of trees. So we're trying to avoid some of that with this, but I mean, nothing here really but a hood and cab, so really can't hurt much. Inside, I still got parts in here from where the last time we worked on it was last summer. Threw everything in there, tossed a tarp on it, and ain't really messed with it until now. So the plan is once we get the camper finished, we're gonna get started on this. We can take it camping with us and hit some of the trails here in Ohio. We was down at Tar Hollow. You can find, if anybody's interested, it's local, has never been down there, you can find some decent videos on YouTube of Tar Hollow. Because one of the guys that goes four-wheeling with us doesn't live too far from there. You know, get hooked up with him and go down and check it out. But if anybody has any ideas besides buy a Ford or a Jeep, definitely let me know. Hopefully within the next month to 2 months we'll have this thing out in the woods. That's the plan anyway. If I can talk my wife out of the money for the tires. But if anybody thinks of anything, let me know. If I get started on it and start doing stuff, if it seems interesting, I'll make a video, or if anybody has any questions, I'll try to respond to you as quick as I can. The front dry shaft that you see, I got to get it lengthened up. It's just a couple inches too short, but that and all this random crap out of it. But I do have a couple extra motors for it that has the original 350 in it. This one is the truck we used to have, as a 350 TBI motor. That thing screams, so I'm debating on whether or not to just pull this one out and throw that one in it. The other one is the same motor that's in it now. It's just an old small block Chevy, all stock. It's the 0100 block. It's the same thing that's in the truck. Everybody likes them for some reason. I'm not too familiar with them myself, but something about nickel. The carb it's on it's got the old Quadrajet, but it's off a 454. It's been all rebuilt. It's ready to go. That's why we took the dash out of it. Not the dash, I'm sorry, the glove box, so we can make a box inside of it so if we switch over to that TBI motor, we can put the computer components and everything in there with, you know, the wiring harness and all that to keep it from getting wet. Other than that, that's about it for now. Unless anybody has any questions or good tips or anything, let me know. It's definitely a work in progress. We get it out, I'll definitely make a video of it. This thing should raise a little hell. I know it'll crank M38s pretty good. But yeah, just let me know. Thank you.